playing. Sorry. There we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Positive Philly Interviews. And today we are joined by independent wrestler Sean Henderson. Sean, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It means a lot.
Yeah, you know, I've seen you in the ring. You have you're a great wrestler, and you have a big event coming up at the end of the month. Before we get started, I ask you questions, tell the people what's happening at the end of August.
Thank you very much. So Friday, August 25th, it's the biggest SHP show of all time, Dylan McKay's Underground. We have a lot of great talent, a lot of great matches. One being that I will be having my dream match against my dream opponent, someone I've looked up to for many, many years, someone who means a lot to me. First time ever, I will be wrestling Paul London, former Cruiserweight and WWE Tag Team Champion. I'm beyond excited, honored, to get in the ring with him. And thank you. I cannot wait for Friday, August 25th. Williamstown, New Jersey, for Dylan McKay's Underground. Live on IWTV as well, in case you can't make it live. So
yes, sir. I'm hoping to come out. I'm not 100% sure if I can come out right now, but if I can be there, I'd love to be there. If I can't, of course, I will be watching IWTV as well. And there, you guys can see the card: Dylan McKay versus Brian Kendrick, Sean Henderson versus Paul London, as well as a bunch of other matches.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. I'm beyond excited. We're almost 2 weeks out. I can't wait.
Yeah. Nice. Get this up for the people real fast. There you go. There you have it. Sean Henderson versus Paul London. So I have a series of questions to ask you. Let's see, first one. Who was your... Technology is hard, but I'm sorry for all the delays. Who was your inspiration to start wrestling?
I definitely had a good amount of favorite wrestlers when I was growing up as a kid. Paul London, obviously, being one of them. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Danny Havoc, Tim Donst, Too Cold Scorpio. But I think the exact moment that I knew that I was going to pursue professional wrestling was I was in the crowd when Speedball Mike Bailey won Best of the Best in 2015. And, I was just about to graduate my sophomore year of high school. So I was about maybe 16, 17. And when I saw Speedball Mike Bailey win the CZW Best of the Best tournament, I was like, yeah, this is definitely what I want to do. This is what I want to pursue. And I haven't looked back. And, later that year, I started training professionally to become a professional wrestler.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You might have already said this. If you could wrestle any past/current wrestler, who would it be and why? I didn't put why, but who would it be and why? I know you said Paul London, but you're already facing him. There's somebody that you aren't that you haven't wrestled or you don't plan on wrestling as of right now.
So I think for personal reasons and professional reasons, one that he just meant so much to me when I was growing up as a fan, and then someone who ended up being someone who meant a lot to me as a person. Danny Havoc is like a dream match I'll never get that I
Yeah,
would have
R.I.P. to
loved to have
Danny.
wrestled. Yeah, I
R.I.P.
would have
Danny Havoc
loved.
for sure.
Yeah, I would have loved to have wrestled Danny Havoc. That would have been awesome. And then I guess for like someone like someone else that's coming to mind, I would have loved to have wrestled Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle would have been a nuts one. And I'm trying to think, is there any like current, are there like any current people that are still going? I mean, I guess the big dream match would be to wrestle Paul and Brian as a team, but who knows? That'd be awesome. London and Kendrick, I was such a big fan of them.
It should have been. We should have had a tag team match:
Oh, would have been awesome.
McKay and Sean Henderson versus Paul London and Brian Kendrick. But of course, the singles action is going to be great as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I think those are probably my top three answers. I think are pretty good.
Awesome. What advice would you give to your younger self? I always like asking this one when I talk to athletes. There's a lot of probably high school wrestlers out there, local high school wrestlers who want to try and make it to the next level, independent wrestling, WWE, AEW. What advice would you give to them and also give to your younger self?
The number one piece of advice that I can always recommend that I think are like the two most, actually three, I think they all clump together if you want to be successful in wrestling and do it the right way. Always bet on yourself, always be a good person, and always work hard. Those are, I know it's like, oh, what's the one piece of advice? I think those are the top three that everyone in wrestling should keep in mind. Be a good person, always bet on yourself, believe in yourself, and always work hard are the top three that I'd recommend to anybody who's looking to pursue pro wrestling.
Awesome. And this is just one I always like to ask. For me, it's the Radar Superstar Edge. But who is it coming up? Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Edge is a great choice, actually. I was watching Edge versus Undertaker's Hell in a Cell from SummerSlam 08 last night. That's why you mentioned that. When I was growing up, my number one favorite wrestler was Shawn Michaels. I loved Shawn Michaels as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as I got older, like I started really falling into independent. So like Danny Havoc, Tim Donst, guys like that really meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I've been into WWE since I was a kid. I kind of grew up watching that, and I've been watching AEW as of recent. But it's been over a year now that I've been into independent wrestling. I mean, it started off with Pat Murphy. Shout out to Pat taking me to the H2O Wrestling Center to watch it, and I instantly fell in love with it. Marcus Mathers is now my favorite wrestler. Since that night, I love him, and he's a great wrestler. But yeah, I have Fight TV, I have IWTV, so even when I'm not there, I'm watching it on IWTV. I'm watching GCW, No Holds Barred. It's all really great, and some people just aren't into it. Like deathmatch wrestling isn't their thing. I understand that, but I personally love it, and I love seeing people get beat up like that.
Yeah, and thank you so much for supporting independent wrestling. Thank you.
Yes, man, of course. And this final question, what does it mean for you to be able to host your own events at the H2O Wrestling Center? Not only the event at the end of this month, but I've been to some of your past events, and you've had some past events there. What does that mean to be able to host your own events at the H2O Wrestling Center?
It means a lot because, I feel like, I've given the last 8 years of my life to that building. I started training to be a professional wrestler at the age of 17 in November of 2015. And, I've given a lot of my time, a lot of my life, a lot of years to that building, whether I was training or I was wrestling or promoting. So it just means so much. That place means a lot to me. And there's nowhere else I'd rather have my dream match against Paul London at then the H2O Wrestling Center in Williamstown, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's awesome. It is a great arena for sure.
Yeah.
Before we go, once again, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget Friday, August 25th, 2 weeks from this Friday, Sean Henderson presents Dylan McKay's Underground. And I mean, just look at this match card. I mean, we have, let me see if it comes up here. I mean, we have great matches. Brian Kendrick versus Dylan McKay. Sean Henderson versus Paul London. What else? What else is on there? I can't really see it.
Colby Carino returns to SHP for the first time since December. He's going to face the current GCW Ultraviolet champion, Rina Yamashita. Very excited for that.
We have Wasted Youth versus the Ugly Ducklings. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of great matches. If you get a chance, go and check out the card. But Sean, one more thing. I always like to let me get that down. I always like to ask people this before. Oh my God, that keeps coming up. It keeps coming up because Sean wants you to go.
Yes, I do. Please come on out, guys.
Where can people find you? They want to know when your next event is besides August, besides the end of the month. We want to be able to hear about your events and hear about your matches. Where can people find you out on social media?
Yeah, so on social media, just Sean Henderson. You can friend request me there. On Twitter, my profile, like my just regular Sean Henderson, is at SaveUsSean. And then for the SHP Twitter page, it is S_H_P_wrestling. So that's for the SHP page. And I know I have a lot more matches and shows to be announced in the future. So yeah, just on Facebook and Twitter. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And all events will be either streaming. They will be streaming live on IWTV, and you can attend them in person for $25 a ticket, I believe is right for all the events.
Absolutely.
$25. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Henderson, Friday, August 25th, SHP presents Dylan McKay's on the Ground.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you for coming on. All right, guys. Sean Henderson. Hang on. Before we get offline.
Oh, Mr. Murphy.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there he is, finally.
There he is. He made it. Murph, did you catch a lot of the interview, or are you just coming in? If not, you can watch the replay. And yeah, I know me and Murph will be there Friday, August 25th, guys. You don't want to miss it. Sean Henderson, Dylan McKay's on the Ground. Thank you so much,
guys. Thank you.
And then he says,